Hi there, my name's Nick Cowan. I'm the games editor at large here at T3, and we're going to be talking about Watch Dogs today. Watch Dogs tells the story of a hacker named Aiden Pierce who has a voice that sounds like he smokes a bajillion cigarettes a day.
You're gonna come with me to Chicago.
He's a hacker, and when the story kicks off, a job that he's on goes horribly wrong. The people who he targeted try to take him out, and they end up killing his niece in the process. This causes Pierce to go on a one-man crusade against the evil elements of a wonderfully virtual Chicago in order to bring his niece's killers to justice. The central hook of Watch Dogs is that everything in the city of Chicago is connected, and that connection is power. Pierce has perhaps the most amazing smartphone in the entire world, which allows him to do things like hack open gates, open doors, blow the lid off sewer pipes and wreck cars, change traffic lights, unlock cars and start cars, and just generally make himself a menace to pretty much everybody in authority in Chicago. Essentially, if you've ever seen that television program called Person of Interest that the Nolan brothers came up with, imagine that crossed with Grand Theft Auto, and you're pretty much looking at Watch Dogs. Aside from the campaign missions, which will take you the better part of 14 hours to blaze through, you have a plethora of activities in the city. You've got street races, you've got mini missions where you can, for example, one of them is busting up a human trafficking ring, which is quite cool. You even have some AR games on Aiden's phone that you can use to pass the time if you fancy it. Everything that Aiden does in the game earns the player XP. And that XP is used to unlock parts of a talent tree. The talent tree is broken up between different aspects of what Aiden's capable of. You can improve the battery life on his phone, you can increase its range, you can increase his ability at driving, you can make sure that the cars that he handles are easier to use off-road and don't take much damage in a car fight. You also open up weapons, and you can also craft different bombs. And one of the things that I really liked about Watch Dogs is that there's a lot of emergent gameplay in it. There are some missions where you're going to have no choice but to pull out your gun. But there are a lot of missions that allow you to just approach it in a very open-ended way. The main downfall in Watch Dogs is the fact that its beats are very familiar. If you've ever played an Assassin's Creed game or Far Cry 3, you'll notice that there's a certain structure to it that is all too familiar. In order to open up parts of the map and open up pieces of content, Aiden has to hack the CTOS, which is the Chicago Central Operating System nervous system. And that is very reminiscent of the Eagle Vision sights in Assassin's Creed, and especially the radar towers in Far Cry 3. And even though Aiden's not parkouring across the rooftops of Chicago, because how could he? I mean, it's filled with skyscrapers, which are over 50 stories tall. There is a very free-flowing, free-running aspect to the way he moves within the game. In other words, if you've played an Ubisoft game in the last 5 or 6 years, you're going to be in pretty familiar territory. That having been said, there's some stuff in Watch Dogs that is really cool. My favorite part is the multiplayer, which allows you to invade other people's games in a one-on-one cat and mouse sort of contest. If you invade someone else's game, you're going to hack and put a back channel into their phone. Their job is to find you and hunt you down and kill you. And if your phone is hacked, your job is to identify the person on the street who's responsible for it and then hunt them down as well. It's one of those multiplayer ideas that you think actually fits quite nicely with what is essentially a first-person experience all the way through. And it's nice to see something that A, works seamlessly, and B, just wasn't crowbarred in because someone thought they needed a multiplayer. In other words, Watch Dogs doesn't reinvent the wheel for the sandbox genre, but it's still a really good game. Do you remember back in the old days when a 4 out of 5 or an 8 out of 10 was actually a really good mark? Before Metacritic? Before everyone got het up with 9s and 10s? Those were good days, weren't they? Watch Dogs is an 8 out of 10. For more video game reviews, keep it locked here on T3.